It's a flyweight affair in the Apex. Dan Tom here with MMA Junkie to help you break down the main event for UFC on ESPN 58 between Alex Perez and Tatsuro Taira. It's not often the UFC really gives the flyweights, the kind of a traditionally underserved division, the spotlight, or even Asian fighters, but they are doing both this weekend and for good reason. These are both excellent fighters. Alex Perez, a very criminally underrated fighter who finally got back on track earlier this year against Matheus Nicolau. And again, Tatsuro Taira representing Japan as far as the Asian scene goes, and one of their most promising prospects they've had crossed over to the North American scene in quite some time. An excellent grappler, very big for the division, and there are very big hopes for Taira. At the time of this video, the odds makers and the public are siding with Taira in the neighborhood of -184 with the comeback on your underdog Perez, in the neighborhood of +144. Now, seeing, the odds makers and the betting public side with not only the undefeated fighter, but of course the younger fighter, well, that should come to no surprise as anybody, because there's no place more ageist than MMA, right? And of course, it's for good reason. Taira is undefeated. He's 4-0 in that UFC Apex. The small cage will cater to his grappling, but it's the wrestling that's going to need to be won, in my opinion, for Taira to kind of win this fight. He's shown improved striking in his last time out against Carlos Hernandez. However, most of his takedowns, albeit against the cage, and he'll have those opportunities at the Apex, he's still, piecing things together. We have to forget, this guy only started fighting at 15 years old. He's only 24. So he's still putting things together, and I think in those small spaces, better defenders and wrestlers like Perez could quietly be a tough stylistic matchup. Add in the leg kicks that he was taking from CJ Vergara and others, that kind of bodes badly when you factor in the calf kicks for Perez. Now, it's MMA, anything can happen. I'm technically picking the underdog here, but I do think the line, and I don't say this often, probably should be flipped. Not very wide, but probably still should be a little bit flipped. I'm going to go with Alex Perez here to see how, when, and why, as well as stats and arguments for both sides. Check out my in-depth breakdown over at MMAJunkie.com, where you can find results this weekend.